3 years, I have been able to study something that I truly love, music therapy. I'm going to inform you about 3 points today. First is music therapy. I'm going to explain to you what it is. Second is autism spectrum disorder and its symptoms. Third is music therapy and autism and what can be addressed. Music therapy, according to the American Music Therapy Association website, is defined as this: clinical and evidence-based use of interventions to accomplish individualized goals with a therapeutic relationship by accredited MT who has completed an accredited college. Currently, I attend the University of Louisville, which is an accredited college. I'm going to break down the definition for you now. One is it first says the clinical and evidence-based. This means that there is research for it, showing that this is a proper form of therapy. Second is interventions. To music therapy, this means songwriting, recognition of day-to-day objects through music, recognition of numbers or your ABCs through music, and sometimes we do include sing-alongs. This would help with social and communication. There are 5 target areas that music therapists hit. First is social and behavioral. Next is gross and fine motor, followed by cognitive, communication, and emotional. The rest of the definition states that the goals are given by an assessment by music therapist. This means that through a referral or the client coming to the music therapist, that the music therapist would assess the client and come up with a list of goals that the music therapy would assess. The next part and the final part is that it is an accredited program, which is University of Louisville, and that can also be found on the American Music Therapy Association sites. There are different areas that music therapy addresses. This can be palliative care, both geriatric and children. This can be cancer hospitals, and music therapy is most well known for autism. Autism spectrum disorder is in the DSM-5 diagnostic criteria as 229 or F84. Autism is defined by, in the DSM, persistent deficits to social communication and interaction across multiple contexts. It is also described as restrictive, repetitive patterns of behavior, interests, or activities. Autism spectrum disorder is often accompanied by another intellectual impairment. Autism spectrum disorder is a spectrum itself, so it's not just autism. Asperger's can be included, OCD, and sensory processing disorder. There are 3 levels of autism, 1 being the lowest level of support and 3 being the highest level of support needed. The middle, number 2, is substantial support needed. In 2014, the Centers for Disease Control stated that 1 in 68 children in the United States are affected by autism. Now, as stated, I attend the University of Louisville, and I'm a music therapy student there. I have the pleasure of having 4 semesters of practicum, only 2 have been completed. In my semesters, I have had a 14-year-old with autism and hyperplasia, this meaning that the right side of her body was larger than her left. I've worked with a 16-year-old with autism spectrum disorder, and she also was nonverbal. This past semester, I worked at a pediatric daycare. Most of the children had accompanying disorders, but most had autism as well as Down syndrome. There, I would do a songwriting activity, or If You're Happy and You Know It, which is an emotional recognition activity. I would do opposite recognition or decision-making activities, as well as turn-taking, where you can use a drum or pass a shaker. Through the Hello and Goodbye song, we encourage social interaction among the clients and the therapist or the clients themselves. Music therapy is not very well known, but the evidence is out there. Michael J. Silverman's case studies are very abundant, and he is a big name in the music therapy, including autism. Music therapy can change the world, and the more people know about it, the more it can change the word. So spread the word about music therapy.